We are back this week as Mr. Brown comes all the way back from the southeast. Spent some time down where it was hotter than the hubs of Hades, which he brought back with him. So we decided to go out to Mile High and talk to Broncos Country since we got some news happening out there. And we got Mongo's News of the Week coming up. So everybody stay tuned. We got a great show for you. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back once again to the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. This is Chad the Mark with
Mr. Brown
and
Mongo.
He's back, baby. Are you disappointed in the episode we did without you, Mr. Brown?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Oh, no.
I'm glad to be back in the foothills of West Virginia. But I brought the heat with me, brother.
You son of a bitch, it's hot today.
Yeah.
Milk was a bad choice.
Exactly. Yes.
No White Russians for you today.
No.
It is hot, though. Like, we brought Mongo brought a portable air conditioner. That didn't help it cool down in time.
No,
so
it actually kind of heated it up in here a little
bit. Even though we were venting the exhaust, but I think the 12-inch gap in the window screwed us.
It may have.
We weren't getting anywhere. But
And we waited till it was a heat index of 100 before we plugged it in.
It was.
That might have been something to do with it, too.
But, you live and learn, baby. That's how it is. We know in the wintertime we're solid.
Oh, absolutely.
But
that air conditioner will work in the wintertime. I guarantee it.
Damn, it blows cold. Oh, man, we got a lot to go over. I do want to start with some personal stuff first before we give a rundown for everybody. But, Canadian Biggie, he is almost Canadian this week. But how much do you enjoy when Biggie's out of town? His interaction increases, and then just the randomness that he sends us. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, when he moved back, I was thinking that would be like the Biggie I would get when he lives here. And he's my neighbor within walking distance, and I get more interaction from him when he's across the border, north of the border.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, he actually is higher right now than Toronto.
Yeah.
So, he might as well be in Canada.
Yeah.
He was pretty high when he ate them carrots, I assure you.
He's north, don't you? So if
carrots and dirt.
If nobody listening follows the social media stuff, Biggie just sent us a random video, like midnight?
Yeah.
And it was no audio.
It's 10 o'clock there.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's still it's dark. And this random ass video
comes in. He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't even, he just kind of lightly cleans off a carrot with his thumb.
Barely.
There's still dirt on there. And
Lots
he just
of dirt.
munches it, takes a bite out of it, throws it in the ground, picks up another bunch of carrots.
Cluster.
And does it again.
I think the only thing I heard him say was nom, nom, nom.
Nom, nom,
He's
nom,
just
nom.
breathing heavy and eating carrots. He's just making sweet love.
He was breathing heavy.
Sweet loving to those carrots.
We love you, Biggie, but you were breathing heavy in
He
that
did
video.
that one, and then he did the one in the side-by-side.
The side-by-side, the state fair, talking about building things that he's got his eye on up there. Are we okay? What happened?
Like a hybrid hornet.
What?
Yellow jacket.
You got murder hornets?
Yes.
The heat brings out everybody.
We'll leave it alone for now. I feel like getting stung by a hybrid hornet.
I'm glad you took care of that so it didn't sneak up on me.
Exactly.
That means a lot.
I caught him in this baseball photos.
So
in my scroll.
So you had a autograph giveaway tonight, all the good stuff we do normally, back in the routine. But last week, I know you went to Atlanta. You went to
I went to two D-backs games in Atlanta, and actually they lost both games. And I've been to several games in Atlanta here in the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm probably 10 games over 500 watching them live until they lost both games.
Man.
And then we're driving to Hilton Head and the day games on the radio, so then it was a Strider game, and they won that game while we're driving away.
Well, at least
they salvaged something.
Yeah, it's not a sweep, right?
Right.
But I saw that the highlight. Were you at the game that the guy fell during the race with the freeze?
No.
That's disappointing.
I
Did
think
you
it
see
was
that?
The very next day.
That was the next day.
Yeah.
That's why they won. They just put the karma in there. Friend of the show, we've had him on. I can't remember his name. His real
Nigel
name.
Talton.
Yeah. But the freeze, Mongo, do you know what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah, the guy that races people around.
Yeah, so he's like
track,
he's a legit Olympic alternate or something.
Right.
Like he's up there. But he's part of the grounds crew.
No, I did not.
And
Yeah.
we interviewed him last year.
And
So,
he's
cool.
so his full-time job there at the stadium is actually the grounds crew, and he gets a little reprieve, not much of a break while everybody else gets to relax. He's got to go sprint. How many feet is that?
Hell, I don't know.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
They give him a big jump too.
Producer, can you look up how many feet it is from left field foul pole to right field foul pole in Major League Baseball? This will be a test for our producer to see if he can do
Exactly.
that. He's no help.
You're fine.
All right, so yeah, you had a good time there, but we had a lot of baseball stuff going on, right? So let's just kind of jump into that. You got the trade deadline, and
real quick though.
Yeah.
So when I was down in Atlanta, then we transitioned to Hilton Head, and I'm wearing Savannah banana gear, right? So I've been to Denver, I've been all over the country watching baseball,
man.
and everywhere I go, they talk about the bandana shirt. But given the fact I was right there in Hilton Head, right near Savannah, no one said a damn word. It was kind of weird.
Maybe it's just an old hat for them.
No, it's just that. Yeah, it's right there
It's
in
just
that area.
normal now,
Right?
It's like we don't talk about pepperoni rolls here with each other, but you bring a foreigner in, they're like, "Oh my God, what is this?"
Exactly.
But,
The conversation started, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's their stomping grounds.
Just different.
But so baseball news: Shohei got taken off the market. The trade deadline is, what, we're like 5 days away now?
Yeah, 31st.
And you haven't had a lot of movement yet, but you've had some. So just what are your thoughts so far, Mr. Baseball Brown?
I think where there's the extra wild card, there's so many teams still deciding whether they're in it or out.
Are you surprised the Angels were one of those that decided to
I
be
am
in?
because Trout's hurt, and Rendon got hurt, which he hasn't done anything since he's been there.
That's a blessing in disguise.
They don't have a lot of pitching, so I was shocked that they're like, you know what, we're just going to go all in, and then they went and got Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez from the White Sox.
Giolito was the one I wanted the Reds to get.
He's a great strikeout per nine pitcher. He's got swing and miss stuff. I think a change of scenery will do nothing but help the guy. I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs, but it's a good move for the rotation.
I will say, just because I have Shohei in fantasy, had a nice little outing today.
Pitcher or the catcher? Or
the
a hitter?
pitcher. I only have him as a pitcher.
Yeah.
But he had a shutout today.
First career complete game.
Complete game, baby. You got to love it. He gave up a couple hits, but still, great outing. And then he goes and he bats. So
To me, Angels are going nowhere fast. You would get way more right now than you would next year at the deadline. Unless they trade him at the winter.
the hot stove.
Yeah. So the winter meetings, if they trade him there, when you have a chance to actually sit down with nothing else going on, you get a big haul there. But if they wait till next year's deadline, they're pennies on the dollar.
Is he going to reset contracts?
Yes.
Is it just going to break the system?
I think so.
Kind of like what we've seen in the NFL with Deshaun Watson, stupid contract, and now it's like kind of everybody that gets signed, it's just a better deal. But how can you honestly, if you expect Ohtani to be healthy for the length of the contract and do dual role, there's nothing that you could rival that.
If he signs for less than $700 million, I'll be shocked.
Wow.
Mr. Brown, last time, it was after the show, wasn't on the show, that you made a comment, and if you could talk on that a little bit about why you didn't want your Braves to get him, about what he would cost and how much he actually plays as far as pitching.
Now, depending on what they wanted in a return package, I would absolutely take him for the next 2 seasons. But if the Braves traded for him, it would be to win back-to-back championships for no other reason. Now, if they think the risk reward is we're going to win 2 titles and give up a lot of our depth in our franchise, I think a lot of teams would take that risk. But I don't want them signing him long-term to a new contract because
Atlanta's already in a situation where you feel like you're going to be competitive for the next 5 years no matter what.
They're not going to pay what he wants anyway. But I would love to see him for the next 2 years on his current deal. But I'd rather see a team like the Mets sign him to the new deal because you're going to be tied into $700 million in one player, and you're paying for a 2-way player. If he gets hurt, it's most likely going to be on the pitching side. So then now you're only paying $60 million or more per season for just a hitter.
I wish I would have given you time to prep for this because I'm really curious. Can you think of any big time contracts in Major League Baseball, and those teams have gone on to be pennant winners, or just I feel like all the big names like Tatis and Machado in San Diego are sitting there. What are some of the biggest contracts over the past few years?
A-Rod, what did the Yankees get out of him?
I mean, that's going back quite a bit, but
yeah.
Bryce Harper, they went to the World Series last year.
There you go. Bryce Harper would be one.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bryce Harper's contract, in my opinion, is fair. The dude's a baller. He plays out every time.
As time has gone by, you feel like it's even valued, right?
I think even though he was hurt and he's DHing right now, I think he's one that'll play decent till the end of his contract.
Yeah, but dude came back so quick, man. Like, that shows he's like the John Cena of Major League Baseball. He's not ready for the Royal Rumble.
Dude, he brings it. So, I mean, I think that'll be a contract that'll go down as a win-win for both.
Yeah.
But you can't say many.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. It's like every time it's like that almost across all sports, but it's weird with baseball because there is no cap.
So here's just to drill down on it real quick. You had Orlando Arcia, the All-Star Game starter for the National League, making $3 million a year. You had Bogarts.
I didn't even know it was that high.
You had Bogarts, you had Swanson, and you had who else got signed? You had who else is the player? Oh, Trey Turner.
Oh, Trey Turner.
Those were the three studs in the free agent market. Got massive deals. The smallest one was Dansby making $25 million per, and he ends up being Arcia's backup in the All-Star game.
The irony, right?
Exactly. So to me, you got to play it smart and know. Like, to me, if it's past what you want to pay as an organization, you don't budge. And that's what the Braves have done.
Mongo, do you have a squad? I don't even know. Like, do you have a baseball team?
I like the Reds. Yeah, I like the Reds. I'd say that's my favorite team. I'm not a big follower
You keep
of baseball.
spending time with us. He'll get sucked in. Yeah. Baseball's there's too much happening right now. There's so much young talent in the game. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm glad your boy finally put De La Cruz where I've been asking him to be.
Lead off. Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, damn, about 3 weeks too late, but I like it. He needs to be up there leadoff.
He does. I like him at 1. I like McClain at 2 because McClain's raking at 300.
Hasn't McClain been batting third?
Yeah, but they need to sit Votto down.
We talked about that. You need him and McClain 1 and 2.
I think so.
Put the talent at the top, and they both can run the bases.
And you can put Fraley or Steer or one of those other guys.
3 and 4, right there.
I mean, I don't. But Votto, you know what Votto's batting since he's come back? He's
like a hot stretch for 1 week.
He's like 183.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
So, Encarnacion Strand needs to just go over there.
Yeah.
Some kind of a rest strategy with Votto, like basketball.
No, he is not Kawhi Leonard.
He needs more poutine.
He does.
I think he's getting plenty of that.
No. The Canadian delicacy.
That shit means French fries with cheese and gravy.
And lots of curds.
Yeah.
Lots of cheese curds. Cheese curds, don't you know?
Exactly.
All right, who else is making moves? Make a prediction.
The Dodgers made a few. They already did.
They did. They got Kiki back.
They just traded for Ahmed Rosario from the Guardians. And the Guardians just traded for Noah Syndergaard. And they traded.
I don't even know what he's been doing.
Nothing.
I wouldn't think so.
They traded. Who did they trade for him? I think it was Rosario for Syndergaard.
Yeah.
And then the Brewers just got Carlos Santana from the Pirates.
Played by Carlos Santana.
Orioles and the D-backs are going to make a move. They're both heavily rumored to be involved with Shohei. So if you're saying that...
Yeah, you have intentions.
Right now, Baltimore's number 2 in the power rankings in MLB. So if Baltimore don't go out and get a few pieces to support this youth movement, they're idiots.
They're just the same old Baltimore. Don't do what you did last year.
Right.
You know?
No, you go get a starter and a bat this offseason right now.
I hear you. So you weren't here last week, but the game you were at was probably the one that it was a player that got Mongo's attention last week, which I'm just excited because he brought him up. Who was your stud that kind of raised your eyebrows at? You remember?
No.
Come on, man.
I'm looking.
Corbin.
Oh, yeah.
Corbin Carroll.
He struck out and stole first base and turned it into a triple. And
Were you at that game?
Yes.
Was that the 15-12 game or whatever?
Yes, I was there.
A lot happened in there.
16-13.
16-13.
How do you score 13 runs and you lose?
Very carefully.
So I got to admit, it was a fun game to be at. Bombs left and right.
Do you get numb to it after a minute?
Nah.
It's kind of like, enough already. Someone play some defense and pitching.
I lived through the 25-1 in Colorado. I'll be okay.
You maybe it's you.
Yeah.
Just say hi.
I walk in and steroids just feel plentiful.
He's the problem.
I already feel the masculinity running through me. I don't know.
All right. Well, you want to talk?
Corbin Carroll, though. The dude plays the game the right way. He hustles on every single possession. He's a younger guy. He's only like 5'10", but he's like a ball of muscle.
Height don't matter.
And he's a potential 30-30 guy. Probably if not this year, next year. So he's a great guy in the 3-hole in Arizona to start leading that squad.
It is, man. He's like 23 years old.
Yes,
Young
sir.
guy. Again, man, there's stars
Very
everywhere.
well liked in the clubhouse.
On that play, I'd love to see how he ranks up on speed wise against players from other sports, track stars. He looked stupid fast.
Well, he's not as fast as De La Cruz.
Yeah, I mean, but
De La Cruz takes one step for.
Yeah, he only needs 2 steps to third first base.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
That's I might as well have him do high hurdles and see who does better.
Correct.
But it is interesting. Baseball gets slept on for how fast some of these guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you track that first to second or first to third or whatever it is, it's what it is. It's that feeling though, like you're getting chased. Like somebody runs the 40 at the combine, but you put linebackers behind them, all of a sudden they run a little different, right?
Run a little faster.
You put De La Cruz versus the Cheetah. Who wins?
I think it's still the Cheetah, right? But De La Cruz, I'm not sure.
That's what I'm asking. Like, does it compare? Like, how much slower is De La Cruz than the Cheetah?
Like, you remember when? Did you see last year when DK Metcalf ran at the Olympic or the NCAA championships or something like that, and he didn't win, but
it was Olympic qualifiers.
Maybe it was, and dude just went out there and he didn't finish last. He was like 8th or something like that.
With
As
no
a big
track
man.
Yeah, there's just like let this monster.
That's
guy.
a freight train, bro.
Yeah.
I've loved Metcalf since he came in. I'm the number one fan of this fan.
You have been. We've criticized his ability
Biggie and Brad or Chad is shit all over him.
I'm not shit all over him. It said, maybe not the best route runner, being able to find the pockets in the zone, but
I'm a freak. I don't have to be good at that.
You're right. Nobody ever gets tired of the 2 clips he's got. The one where the dude just like slams into him and falls down, and he just stands there like he just shrugged it off like nothing.
Exactly.
And then the one
I ain't gonna be a good route runner. People bounce off of me, and I'm fast, bro.
When he chased down Buddha Baker.
I knock people down my pecs. Next question.
Not a lot of guys with just raw talent that they get drafted, but that translate later on to a successful career. And Metcalf looks good. He looks like he's going to have a great career.
All right, so I put that in the football group today about John Ross retired from the NFL.
He's a better version of David Boston.
David Boston's problem was he couldn't get off the somas and all that stuff. He got jacked. He got huge.
Yeah.
He was like playing 285 at the end of his career.
He's like, you going to be a tight end?
Tight end, left tackle.
Yeah, he could have, right? Like, do you remember when him and Charles Woodson got into it in college? If that had happened in the pros, Woodson's head would have fell off.
They'd use his actual head for his Canton.
Maybe, we'll just take your head. It'll be like
now.
Futurama where they put those heads in the water or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
His future bus is right there. They just tore it off.
I wasn't ready to go off baseball yet. Just because we had the Hall of Fame. And it wasn't a big class. So how did you feel like the writers and whatnot did this time?
McGriff was long overdue. 30 home runs for 6 different teams. Model of consistency. There wasn't a team he played for that was like, man, I wish we didn't sign McGriff.
Yeah, there's not a one, right? He was a legitimate
straight up professional. He wasn't like a Gold Glove first baseman, but he was right in the middle of the pack. Never going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But the dude just showed up to work every single day. And probably, in my opinion, had the best backswing in the history of baseball. He looked like a it looked like a tomahawk. Like a helicopter.
Fitting for the Braves.
Helicopter backswing.
I've never really noticed. I'll have to go back and watch. Okay. I got
crazy.
You. Nobody knows what he just did, but I do.
I had to show you.
Yes.
Did a double check.
It looks like a helicopter, like backswing. But and then Scott Rowland,
that's a tough one, right?
I'm not like big on the Scott Rowland train, but like when you dive into his numbers, I can't get mad about it
compared to other third basemen.
Yeah, I mean defensively, he was the ball player. And I hate to keep saying Harold Baines, but I mean like there's worse players in there.
There are, but that doesn't mean we lower the bar.
No, I agree.
But Rowland, he's a lot like a couple guys in the league now that are question marks, right? Like. You feel about Votto the way you feel about Rowland, kind of? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then who's the other one that we got right now that there's another one like Votto that's right there. I can't think.
Greinke?
Greinke's the other one,
I don't like Greinke.
Yeah, and that's fair.
He's
But
a dick.
well, that doesn't do you any favors. Just ask, Barry Bonds and A-Rod how that's working.
There
out.
you go.
But, all right, so you went ahead and submitted a premature ballot for next year.
I did.
So we'll give him time to pull that up, Mongo. But have you ever been to Cooperstown? Do you ever have any desire to go?
I want to go. I'm hungry for it. I want to go. I've never been to either Hall of Fame. And I
What?
can't tell you how many.
You've probably driven by Canton 100 times.
I've driven by Canton. I can't tell you how many times. I drive 60,000 miles a year, and
They have Mr. Brown's calf on display at Canton.
I've heard that.
It's a step above the bus.
Yeah.
They had to make a new mold.
Jerome Bettis looks at it enviously.
It does. Then I look at his retirement package, and then I'm envious.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. He might not be like
Their
Latrell
retirement
Sprewell.
package sucks. But
Latrell
he probably saved
Sprewell.
his money.
He probably can't even feed his
I
kids
need
these
food
days.
stamps.
Yeah.
All right, you got your ballot?
I do. So,
2024 Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
yeah, here's the newcomers. You have Beltray, Adrian Gonzalez, Joe Mauer, Chase Utley, and David Wright. So, of those five, I only went Adrian Beltray.
I feel like Utley and Wright aren't even close.
Utley's closer than you may realize.
What's his WAR? You know?
64.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I'm glad you
I had
brought-
no
I'm
idea.
glad you brought that up because
I would have said like 45.
Utley's WAR is higher than Helton's, Jones, and Sheffield.
And I love Sheffield.
All right, so I think that Utley will make it in within the first 5 years. All right, I just didn't put him on my ballot.
I think that might help too with the fact that we don't have huge ballots coming, right? Like it's getting thin.
Yeah, so Mauer, I didn't vote for. He'll get in. I'm telling you.
Mr. Twin.
He'll get in.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big Joe Mauer fan. He'll get in. Utley will get in. Wright will never get in. Adrian Gonzalez will never get in. But I went Beltran only. All right. Returning players, Beltran, I did not vote for. Todd Helton, I did. He was 72% this year. He'll get in next year for sure.
Is the only reason he's not in is because of the Colorado,
Yeah.
stats.
Dude, that dude had good splits.
Okay.
That dude was a hitter. And he played Tennessee quarterback, right?
Was he?
He was quarterback for Tennessee.
Was it Tennessee?
Yeah. Andrew Jones, I'm been heavy on this Andrew Jones train. The best defensive center fielder of all time by sabermetrics.
I hate the way we measure defense in baseball. I don't feel like it proportionately will highlight a player like Andrew Jones. You know what I mean? Because he is. I don't even think it's arguable, right? Like,
No, per the defensive WAR, he's the best, way above King Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, everyone else.
right? And these guys had great bats, so it was like they're also known for. And he was above average bat, but wasn't great.
Andrew gets penalized for his later years where he tailed off and then even ended up in Japan for a minute. But the dude still has 440 home runs. He's the best defensive center fielder of all time. And you're not going to put him in? Like, you're going to put Ozzie Smith in, who hit 262 with like 27 home runs, but you're not going to put in the best center fielder of all time? Shortstop and center field are the backbone of baseball defenses.
So how long is it going to take for it to happen?
I think he gets in next year or the year after.
That soon?
He gets in.
Okay.
And then Manny Ramirez I didn't vote for. A-Rod I didn't vote for. And I voted for Sheffield and Billy Wagner.
Why didn't you vote for Manny?
So I'm very, I got a very draw the line in the sand rule here, and I'm consistent.
He failed the test.
Now, I don't care if you did steroids or not. If between up until 2003-ish or whenever it was, 2001 to 3, I don't remember the year off the top of my head, when they started testing for steroids, if you just had suspicion and you never failed a drug test and you never been penalized for it, you didn't break a rule. Just like if you murdered someone and you got off, you didn't murder them.
OJ.
Right?
Ray Lewis.
Exactly. Just saying, you're proven innocent, right? They didn't convict him of anything.
I'm with you. I think we've all been pretty good with that.
A-Rod's never getting in. Manny's never getting in. But I think Bonds and Clemens should be in.
But Ortiz failed.
That's a travesty.
But they also said it was like in that first pool.
Well, he's a very likable guy, though.
It helps, right?
But Bonds and Clemens should be in right now.
I agree.
Gary Sheffield should be in now.
You
Because
can't take it away from those guys because they were competing
Right.
against the same guys.
and,
It was just
Bonds, McGuire and Sosa should be in. It is what it is.
Those are legends in the game.
Everyone loved the fact they brought baseball back from the strike, and Bud Selig and everyone else turned their heads. We knew what was going on. But we're going to act all innocent about it. They brought the game back that we loved. They never got suspended. Put them in.
Fair enough.
I mean, McGuire and Sosa, that was probably one of the best years in baseball, honestly.
See, Mongo don't even like baseball that much. You mentioned McGuire and Sosa, and he's like, I can speak on this.
I can speak on that. Everybody knows that.
With two guys going head-to-head like that, there's only one other season I can think of where two individuals just stole the summer. Just going head-to-head.
Remember, Griffey was in there up until late July, and they just left him.
Right, but you had Big Mac Land, you had Sosa running out there after he do that crow hop. After that home run and jump through the freaking atmosphere.
He had the hop.
Yeah, after he hit it. And then he would run through the outfield with the American flag. And he was a likable character.
Yeah.
Big Mike Land was amazing. You're like, oh, he's the man, right? Because he was big when he was in 87 when he hit 49 home runs as a rookie. But the only other season that compares to that is 1941 with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio.
Oh.
DiMaggio had a 56-game hit streak the same year that Ted Williams hit 406, and they went back and forth that summer. So it's the only thing I can compare it to.
No, that's fair. What about just because you were mentioning, Sosa and McGuire and guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame, never failed a test, might have lied to Congress, but what about Rafael Palmeiro? You think he ought to be in?
I do.
Or is the sleaze of the clearly lying under oath enough to...
I don't care.
Yeah, because it didn't matter because the rules of the game didn't apply.
Here's my thing, though. So, it wasn't even at the time, it wasn't even cheating because you weren't tested.
Well, it was against the rules, but they didn't do anything to police it.
Exactly. So you couldn't prove anyone broke the rules. But you bring spitballers out there and the spider tech or whatever, and if the guys got suspended for that, what's the difference between that and a guy doing steroids and never got caught? How are you going to waive one and not the other?
You can make the argument that maybe the spider tag and stuff like that.
And the spitballs were worse.
Yeah, more effective.
Because Gaylord Perry, known for spitballs.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. First ballot, I believe.
And you can take the roids, but you still got to put in the work.
Right.
It just don't magically fit. And it don't change your hand-eye coordination. It doesn't change the way the ball moves.
So, but I got questioned a lot on that in the group when I produced this ballot, and they're like, so why Sheffield, not Manny or Aaron? I was like, because they both failed drug tests. That's simple for me. Everyone thinks like me, but that's my stance, and I'm being consistent.
Well, that's fair enough stance. Well, if you want to hear more about that, don't be hesitant to go over to the Facebook group, America's Pastime for the Love of Baseball. We do an autograph giveaway every single week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday before we do the show usually.
Right.
And you even have some guys that give you autographs that are former professionals. You got over 400 now?
Yep.
400 and climbing?
415.
415 and climbing. And, you do the giveaway, and then they end up commenting on the autograph you give away like they did tonight.
Yep.
So definitely awesome. And while we're making cheap pubs, don't forget to check out the website, wdksports.us. You can leave us a voicemail, which, we got a couple coming in from North Dakota here shortly. And then we also have a guest intake form you can do on there. So we're going to segue into a little bit of NFL discussion here. We're going to take a break, but we're going to bring you this. We reached out to a bunch of people on social media. Last minute, had some cancellations with our guest tonight. But with all the news coming out of Sean Payton's mouth with Nathaniel Hackett, we thought, let's go talk to a Broncos fan. Let's see how they're feeling about all this right now. But is it fair to say shots fired?
But yeah, we got Matt Maney on.
Matt Maney was running wild. He had some fun with us. We had some technical issues with some other guests.
Young pup.
But 22 years old.
I feel bad when you don't know what NBA Jam is.
Didn't know what NBA Jam is.
So
it's terrible.
That's my only knock on Matt's interview tonight. Nothing
Probably
else.
Doesn't know what roaming minutes are either.
Probably doesn't know.
Wait till after 9. Wait till after 9 p.m.
All right, so since it's roaming time, let's go ahead and let you listen to this interview. We'll be back in a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to shift gears a little bit today because we had some news in Broncos Country.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to remember the tagline there.
That's
Russ,
right.
Russ is making it big. So we decided to reach out to Broncos Country on social media. And we got Matt joining us here from enemy territory, I guess, but we're going to get to that here in a second. We had some news that come out about Sean Payton, and he was really rattling the cage. And we've had a lot of talk about whether or not we feel like Russ is going to bounce back. Was Nathaniel Hackett just that bad? I mean, I don't know. Your initial thoughts on it, though. You know what? I'm going to read the statement, and we'll just go from there. So this is what was said on what happened last year. There's so much dirt around that. There's 20 dirty hands for what was allowed, tolerated in this friggin' training rooms, the meeting rooms, the offense. I don't know, Hackett. A lot of people had their dirt on their hands. It wasn't just Russ. He didn't just flip. He still's got it. This bullshit that he hit a wall, shoot, they couldn't get a play in. They were 29th in the league in pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball. It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed, Payton said. And that happened here. Part of it was their own fault relative to spending so much expletive time trying to win the offseason, the PR, the pomp and circumstance, marching people around and all that stuff. We're not doing any of that. It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. That's how bad it was. Broncos fan, how the hell does that make you feel hearing that?
I honestly, whenever Sean Payton's speaking about on the team, I'm with him because he's experienced, you know, and he's seen how teams work and all that. He's been around, 15 years? He won a Super Bowl. And last year, they were so frustrated on the sidelines, and they were fighting each other on the sidelines. And something was going on with that coaching staff because they were letting so much slip, like you said, about the penalties and shit. That was unacceptable.
As a Raiders fan, Mr. Brown, you got to see him a couple times a year. Are the Broncos as a team that bad, or was it the coaching?
I think it's a combination of both, honestly. I as a Raiders fan, we're the definition of mediocrity, and I feel like we're going to have 2 close games with the Broncos. No offense.
So yeah. You feel like where the Broncos going to finish this year under Payton's guys?
How many wins is he worth?
Yeah, give us the schedule. How's it shape out?
I'm not going to say like some ridiculous shit like 12-5, but like I'd say probably at least at 500 at 9-8 or a little above it. I'm hoping.
So making the playoffs is a stretch.
Yeah, you're knocking on the wild card door, but not quite.
Yeah.
I like being realistic.
I do. It's something we complain about all the time talking to people on social media is how unrealistic people are. Like, I can't tell you how many Jaguars fans and Ravens fans and Steelers fans right now, they feel like they're going to win it all. And I'm like, let's slow down here a little.
Breaks there. So.
And here's Denver. You got a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but let's be honest, he's in the twilight. Maybe he's recessed. Maybe he's not. But, they got a chance to maybe, be a competitive team that might be on the outside looking in. I think that's a realistic statement. My question for you, give me the touchdowns, interceptions that Russ throws this year.
Jeez. I'm going to say probably not over 30 touchdowns, and probably about halfway, 15, maybe 20.
Ooh, you're talking about up to 20 interceptions.
Yeah.
So my next question was going to be, what's holding the team back from maybe winning 10, 11, 12 games? But it sounds like it might be the turnover bug there. Is it Russ? Let's talk about that. Like, as a Broncos fan, are you kind of miffed on the deal you got? Like, you get, Russ coming down there, and then Seattle of all teams ends up making the playoffs without him last year.
Dude, Seattle robbed
and they beat the Broncos.
Yeah, like that was week 1, right? Like, let's open it up. Let's just pour as much salt in the wound as possible. Is that wound still festering? Like, just how does that feel? Like, and do you feel like Russ is going to win you a playoff game in Denver?
Well, they've got some new linemen coming in there. We still have our receiving core. Last year, Tim Patrick was hurt, so we lost one of them. And watching Russell Wilson play, like in one game, he was on the goal line, knocking on the door. He was about to throw a touchdown. KJ Hamler on the right, inside, he was wide open, missed the pass, and like stuff like that. I saw all through the season, and I was unimpressed with his play, his reading ability. I think he's more of a system QB. I don't think he's anything like Peyton Manning, intelligence-wise. He can't read his own plays. He can't call an audible right there when he doesn't like something. he's relying on the coach to give him the information. And Coach Hackett, I don't think could hack it doing all that as an offensive coordinator. Yeah.
Hi-oh. He couldn't hack it. Now he's the Jets offensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh came out today and was like, calm down, Sean Payton. We'll play in week 4. It'll be okay. Like, don't circle us on the calendar.
Ready for that.
Then all of a sudden, the NFL never fails. They always manage to add intrigue to the most meaning. You weren't thinking about the Jets and Broncos in week 4.
No.
No.
Hey, Ron.
But the committee was probably thinking about that. They're like, oh, they'll love to watch this game. They'll love to watch a redemption game. They'll love to watch the Jets beat the Broncos' ass, or vice versa.
That's probably what they did. They said, hey, Peyton, give us some dirt on Hackett.
Yeah, we
need to add some.
We're working on our scripts for the first quarter part of the season here.
Yes.
It's important.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So are just because I don't always get a chance to talk to Denver fans, Elway, how do you feel like his time as a general manager was served? Did you approve of it overall? Would you wish you could take it all back? You tell me.
Well, no, I think he was pretty decent. He brought in Justin Simmons. He drafted a lot of late round gems. He brought in Peyton Manning. He went to 2 Super Bowls, won one of them with it. So he wasn't too bad, but I think his time has passed. Like some of the things he would do, let me think. Like bringing in, like, not drafting any new QBs or anything like that. Like he brought in 10 different QBs throughout 7 years. That was awful.
The Denver quarterback carousel for the last 10 years has been a nightmare.
Oh my God. It's been tough to
every
watch.
single one has been the next guy.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about Burrow getting hurt. The backup is Trevor Siemian. I've seen that show before. I'm not excited now, so get better, Joey Burr. But, all right. So like, You're not happy Brock Osweiler's not walking through that door. You got to stick with Russ.
Hell no.
You got to stick with Russ this year. How many more years is Russ the starter in Denver?
I think if he goes 500 this year, 9-8, like I said, I think they'll give him another chance to improve. If he throws a good touchdown to interception ratio, it's even higher probability. But I think they give him another chance to adapt to the system that Sean Payton's going to bring in.
So is Sean Payton worth the money? Is he going to figure it out, or is this going to be, man, he had it in New Orleans but not in Denver?
Hell, he better figure that shit out. I'm so tired of watching this bullshit from every coach. I mean, he's got a better shot than Vic Fangio or Vance Joseph had, I feel.
I mean, as a Broncos fan, you have to be nothing but excited for the hire.
Yeah.
It's better than what you've had.
Like what have you hired as coach? Like, you have to go back to Shanahan. They haven't had a big splash hire as a head coach since then, right?
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah. So
at least that perspective is exciting. Now, will it translate onto the field was yet to be seen.
Do you have a prediction for their record?
I'm going to say, for the record, you're going to win 6 games.
Man.
And Russ is going to go 27-19.
I like that.
Okay.
I was going to go 7-10. Just so I'm a game better, and you were more optimistic, and you should be being a Broncos fan.
Hey, to be fair, as a Raiders fan, I probably said 6 for that reason.
Yeah, and I don't think he's not sitting here telling you the Raiders are going to be better either.
Oh yeah, every year they ask me what the Raiders are going to do. I'm like, hopefully win more than they lose, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's where you set the expectation at. But I think Russ will get it back a little bit. I don't think it's going to be great, but I think he's going to be like a 10 interception season, but only like 22 touchdowns.
Wow.
That's going to be their problem, is they're going to stall out in some games. And
you're thinking that Sean's going to let him – he's going to put him in a situation to where he's not turnover happy and play to his attributes.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be kind of like, let Russ cook.
Yeah.
Let Russ cook. Yeah.
Hey, but let's talk about that defense.
All right, well, go ahead. You got the spotlight. Wrap it up here. We'll give you a segment on the defense here, then I'll let you put a bow on everything.
All right.
Tell me about that
their defense. I think their defense finished top 5, I believe, and they a lot of games. I think about 6 or 7 of them they didn't. The other opposing team didn't win 17 points or more. We had so many games in our grasp. If we just had Russell Wilson or a really prolific offense, I feel like we'd have a way better record than we had. It's that we got Justin Simmons, Josie Jewell, all those guys. We have everybody coming back, so we have a good structure on defense still, and we have Vance Joseph, and he wasn't bad coaching the defense up in the past years. I think he was top 10, top 15 the years he was there. He'll bring more out of Justin Simmons and everybody. I feel like it's going to be good.
All right, I'm gonna let you put a bow on it. All right, so if you had to, we got the Facebook group, the Football is Life out there. We're gonna put this out there. So if you had to recruit people to Broncos Country, what's your pitch, man? Like, you're not even in Colorado or in Denver. You're a fan. Why would somebody want to be part of Broncos Country right now?
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a hard one. You got me there.
But, come on, you got this.
I feel like the history of Denver. I mean, that's kind of what made me want to. Peyton Manning really brought a lot of spotlight to them, I guess. But the history of them, they went like 7 Super Bowls and they've won 3. I mean, that's more than a lot of teams. Say like, I don't know, a Lions fan or a Jets fan,
Vikings.
But I feel like Cleveland, some shit like that. Like,
see, we're making it feel better.
Yes, exactly. What is there not to like about them? They have such a good, rich history. They've got good coaches.
So for me, like you hit the nail on the head. The history is amazing. So as a Raiders fan, I appreciate Broncos history because I appreciate the history of the game. I also feel like with the Mile High Stadium that you probably have the biggest home field advantage with that altitude. So especially you throw in the weather on top of that, and that's a nasty place to come play.
And it's mile high everywhere in Colorado now. That's part of it.
So there's a lot of positives there.
There is.
I went to Denver for the first time here about a month ago, and great city. I enjoyed it. I'd like to come back.
Would you want to be
I've
there
always
in the
wanted
winter?
to go myself. I've never been.
You need to go. It's not that far. What is it, like 10 hours?
Yeah, it's like 4 hours away, 6 hours away, something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's about 24 for me. So I flew out.
He beat you.
I flew out there from Cincinnati.
Oh, man.
Man, you got to suck it up, Buttercup. Get to the game this year.
I got to get going.
I
just don't want to go yet. I want them to be good. If I'm going, I want to see a game where they're doing good.
If you go, it'll be good. And then if they're not, you can say at least you were there in the worst of times.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Don't be a bandwagon fan. We talk about people your age nowadays. They all just like players and not teams. You like a team, man. So, like, let that be let that be your unhealthy identity like the rest of us who picked our favorite teams as children and then lived it out forever. Exactly. And it's been giving us pain ever since existence has started.
Yeah.
Is that a fair way to wrap it up? So I feel you, Broncos Country. I feel you. Matt, stay on the line. We're going to wrap up here.
Real quick. Peyton Manning, my favorite quarterback of all time. I forgot to say that.
He does like the forehead.
Another coach on the side. He's like another coach on the field. It's amazing.
Hey,
smartest quarterback.
Real quick, before we let you go, did you watch Netflix's? Did you watch Netflix's Quarterback?
I watched I didn't watch very much of it. I watched maybe half the episode.
Close me down with this. Give me 3 quarterbacks you would like to have featured on there next year.
I think Aaron Rodgers might be a good one. They're talking about Russell Wilson beyond on there. They're in talks with that. Who else? Maybe Joe?
That'd be good.
They'll wheel him around.
Yeah.
Maybe Lamar. Lamar Jackson might be good.
You got all right. Pick 3. So Aaron Rodgers. Give me 2 more.
Joe Burrow. And Lamar.
I like that. Get a little divisional rivalry going there. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Thanks for joining us this week, man. We really appreciate representing Broncos Country for everybody out there. We'll definitely get this out for everybody to see and hear wherever you get your podcast. Thanks again, brother.
Thanks, sir. You have a good day.
Man, we love it whenever people do answer the call and they come on the show. So let this just be a reminder to everybody out there. You know, we have the voicemail on the website, but like if you want to come on the show, just hit us up. You don't always have to wait on us. Like what I've learned is all you got to do is just put it out there. You know, I mean, I had more like Chiefs fans wanting to come on the show, but we didn't want to talk about the Chiefs. But
you'll get your turn.
So Mongo, just wanted to ask you, since you weren't part of the interview there, just any thoughts on Sean Payton and the Broncos and all that nonsense today?
First of all, I think he's right. I mean, I think anybody who knows anything about football that watched Hackett run that last year, it wasn't great. Russell Wilson gets a bad rap, I think, for some very bad play calling. It just wasn't good all around.
Russ is trash.
What's his touchdown interception ratio this year?
I'm going to say 32 touchdowns.
Ooh.
That's a high number.
That is.
But you got to thank Sean Payton. And you're going to get to see a little bit, I think, this year as far as.
What's interceptions, Mongo?
Interceptions is going to be 12.
32 and 12.
That's an MVP
That's
style
over
season.
2-1, yes.
I went 27 and 19.
You know what he was last year?
Last year he had more interceptions than touchdowns, if I had to guess.
No, he was 16 and 11.
16 and 11?
Yep. That's still pretty bad.
There's no way he doubles his touchdown total.
He threw for 3,500 yards, too, last year. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll get to see if it's Sean Payton or Drew Brees. I think it's like the Brady Belichick discussion. We're going to get to see
love
that.
Brees, but I think it's Payton. But I just don't know if Russ has what it takes. Anyway.
I think it's Breeze, man.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
What's Geno do this year?
I don't want to talk about that either yet. Let's talk about the running backs again.
Okay.
That stuff's gone crazy. Did you see they had a Zoom meeting?
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Like, that's how bad it is. Like, they're banding together. But
so they all just going to sit out? Oh, wait, they've already signed some one-year deals.
We were talking
in New York.
We were talking about it last week on the show, and Saquon was not showing up, and then all of a sudden they worked out a deal where he showed up to camp
for not much more than the franchise tag.
Right? Like what did you get out of that?
$1 million. I mean, you know, to the average person, $1 million is a lot. But when he was going to get $10 million and he got 11.
Here's the thing, though. Maybe they all really realize they don't have a leg to stand on, no pun intended, and they're just going to blow smoke, and then they're going to take what they can get. Because the NFL's changed.
Like the running backs, like when they're at their peak, yeah, that's great, but it doesn't last very long. And
like past five, like I'm more involved in NFL through fantasy, and I even know for like a first round pick that a running back's shelf life is probably 5 years.
If that. I mean,
that's the good ones.
Yeah. There's only a few. There's only a few that you always take in like that first half of the
which
first
just
round.
shows you there's no longevity. Period.
Where's Zeke and Dalvin Cook right now?
Sitting at home. We should get them here in the cave.
At the soup kitchen. Yeah. Come on down. We got wings.
We got $20 for you to come on the show.
We had pickles, but they all got ate.
Someone ate the pickles. Our producer, Eddie, ate the pickles.
Yep.
Well, that's not code for anything either. That's just what happened.
Yeah.
All right, so running backs banding together, and then Jim Irsay. We actually talked about him last week in his stupid trophy collection, but he came out and said, like, no, we just did a collective bargaining agreement. We don't need to go back and do this just because one group of position players feel like they're getting slighted now. And I think he's right. Like, it is what it is, because there are guys that are getting paid. Like Derrick Henry's got a decent contract, right? Jonathan Taylor did. But I don't know. It's they're not going to win this, are they?
No, the game's changed. Like, there's no more Emmitt Smith, Thurman
Thomas, not Munson. Were you going to say Munson?
No.
That would have been cool, though.
I think I said that one time.
That's all right.
No, I'm just saying there's no more of those guys coming out the tunnel because NFL teams won't allow it. Like back then, I felt like they rode their horse a little too long because they was loyal.
Yeah.
And they're letting him ride out his years, knowing damn well that late Emmitt and Thomas cannot produce it at the level they once did.
You mean you don't love Arizona Cardinals Emmitt Smith?
I do. And I love Frank Gore. I love Frank Gore on all 12 teams he played for.
And counting.
Yes. And cage fights.
Hey, he beat the hell out of Adrian Peterson, I think, who still may play in the league next year.
You know who's not playing this year? Did you see what happened to Neenum Hines?
I think the same thing happened to Burrow.
Not quite.
Oh, what happened?
So Hines, he was on the Colts. He's on the Bills now.
Yeah.
It's like his jet ski exploded or something.
Wow.
Have you ever seen that happen?
No?
That's like a real phenomenon. When I worked at Lowe's, we had like a divisional vice president that was like hanging out on Lake Norman. You can Google this shit. His name was Bill Edwards because it made the news. His jet ski just exploded. I guess if they sit a certain way.
Bullshit. They knew too much.
Yeah, it's probably same people that got Obama's chef, right?
Exactly.
This is not.
That's like when you get blown up in a tunnel.
There's no
Talking
body
about Princess
found.
Diana?
She knew too much.
Yeah.
She's still alive.
With Elvis in
She's out there
Mississippi.
somewhere. Now they're telling us UFOs are real, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
They are.
You always believed.
I did.
You watched the X-Files back in the day, didn't
No,
you?
I never watched that shit.
Did you
Unsolved
watch?
Mysteries? What about that?
Yeah,
Unsolved Mysteries, yes.
with Robert Stack, not that other guy that looked like the knockoff Burt Reynolds.
And on top of that, I seen a UFO anyway.
You wait.
No way.
You saw a UFO?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Tell us. We need to hear this.
No, so we were out at the Hunting Fishing Club, believe it or not.
Okay.
We were at the Middle Lake.
So this is basically where we are now.
Yes.
In your backyard, basically.
Yeah. So we were at the Middle Lake, and I was with my grandma, who passed away in 1990. Okay?
Okay.
We're sitting there at the Middle Lake, right when you come in, and some kind of, like, saucer or something came right over top of the mountain from the shooting range, was low to the horizon, okay? Like they were low to the trees. And then they came down in that field between the pavilion and like where you pay at the gatehouse where we would play some football.
Yeah.
It came low to the ground. It kind of like slowed and then just shot back over the next mountain towards Nick Shelton's house. Never seen it again.
Did it make any noise?
Not a lot.
You ever seen the movie Nope?
No.
It may be that.
I'm just telling you. I remember to this day.
Can't believe you haven't seen Nope.
I need to now.
That might be what it was. The thing could have ate you and you not even realize it.
Yeah. I just found out last week what lizard people are.
Really? Because we were talking about it?
Yeah.
Enlighten me. What are lizard
among
people?
other people.
Boy, you don't know what lizard people
I
are?
have no clue what lizard people
They're
are.
This is the
the ones-
next level.
Yeah, they're the ones that run the world, man.
Really?
Yeah, the lizard people. They're disguising as.
Humans. They're shapeshifters.
You ever see the end of like that X-Men movie with Mystique is like pretending to be a congressperson and they show like the eyes turn yellow at the end?
Right.
That's kind of lizard people, right?
Yeah, and they're like disguising themselves as humans, and then they don't even really like blink.
Yeah,
If
like
they
you
do,
see.
it'll be like a eyelid go down
Like,
while they're still looking.
Yeah, like Jamie Foxx is a lizard person now, right? Is that fair?
Oh, this is
Maybe.
your whole thing of they're dead, but they're not really dead. Biggie's thing?
I mean, man, it's probably in the same universe.
It could all be together, but
Could be.
that's what that lady on the plane saw.
Yeah. That person is not real.
It's not real.
That she saw a lizard person.
Have we ever found her?
No,
I mean, she looked pretty good.
she did.
I'm not gonna
Like
lie.
here's my cell phone. If I'm really concerned about her well-being, please get in touch with me.
She's been MIA, man. Twitter's out there trying to find her. They can't find her. It's kind of a sad thing.
If you haven't checked it out, I've been watching Secret Invasion. Samuel L. Jackson. It's a Disney Plus series. Where
Oh, sure it is.
gotcha.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm thinking when
basically-
you said that there, they come flying
Like
in like
aliens.
the saucer. I see
Yeah.
him. He looks right at me. What the fuck you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah, mother.
Yeah, he's like, these motherfucking aliens are trying to shoot me.
Get these motherfucking aliens off my motherfucking plane.
You know what I just learned? None of us can do a Samuel L. Jackson
That was the
impression.
best.
Yours probably was.
It was.
Yeah.
I concede.
All right, so more NFL notes before we jump off of that horse. I should have asked our Broncos guy. I think it was a Broncos player. Another guy got suspended for gambling.
Yeah.
That just why? I don't understand. Why are they doing it?
I mean, here's the thing.
You know what GPS is? That's what it's doing. Is whenever you get on those gambling apps, it tells you where you're at. Like if you go to Kentucky from here, it won't let you use like DraftKings. But if you're inside of West Virginia, GPS says you're here, you can use it. Isn't that wild?
Spoken like a true gambling addict.
Right. Well, Big E's not here. I'm speaking on behalf of him.
Okay.
But like, think about that. So they know you're not supposed to do any gambling on team facilities anywhere, anything to be associated with the league. So that's how they're getting them, is this GPS signal is coming while they're like in the locker room betting on games. Idiots.
So they say that counting cards is a foolproof plan, but it's only if you're good at it.
Only if you get Clark Griswold was not good at it.
So there we are. Let's ride.
I mean, these guys are betting like stupid amounts too. Like Calvin Ridley, like wasn't even that much money. It's just for the fun of it, I guess. But anyway,
I'll sit out 2 years and then I'm going to go bet.
You still have that going on. Justin Herbert got paid. Love it or hate it.
I hate it. Hated it.
Every guy is raising the bar now. He's the highest paid quarterback in the league. It's when does it
For a
end?
guy who can't win the big game, you're going to give him that kind of dough?
I mean, what
Yeah.
are you supposed to do?
Not paying that much.
You're drafting up, but if not, then you don't sign him, and you're just going to end up drafting another QB.
Yeah, we just win a playoff game like normal.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's.
You're right. It's the same picture.
This is Philip
I
Rivers
see no
Jr.
difference.
Philip Rivers Jr.
All right, fair enough. So ever since T-Law got him in the playoffs, he's dead baggage now. Like not worth his salt.
Correct.
I mean, Herbert's got all the skills.
He's got all the. He's Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
I thought that was Trevor.
The way he's playing is more like Sunshine.
His receivers this year too. Mike Williams.
I heard about him slapping a few asses in the locker room. So
All in good
for
fun.
what that's worth.
I just think you have to do that deal. Like you're stuck. Because I mean, who else you gonna risk the draft?
Absolutely. I'd trade his ass and go.
Not in the NFL when you have no guaranteed contracts. I don't know how much guaranteed they gave him, but like that's your out, right?
I want to point out that the highest paid quarterbacks usually do not win the Super Bowl.
I know.
Patrick Mahomes is the exception to the rule. When you look at what he made per season compared to every other quarterback that's won the Super Bowl before him, it's not even close.
Yeah, but that's just the last year, though.
That's why I'm so stressed
That's his
out
first
about
big time he's made it with that contract.
So the Bengals, right? Like we were talking about Burrow going down today with an injury in practice, but it seems like he might be okay. But
You're
like
still in that window.
like that's that window, right? Like you got to win it now before. And they're saying his deal is going to beat everybody's.
It'll be Herbert's for sure.
I think it'll beat everybody's.
So I'm fine with Burrow.
But it's whoever the latest one is. If they're in that top tier of QBs, they're going to keep breaking
Here's
the mold.
my point, though. Burrow is a quarterback that won every layer he's been.
He got the damn Bengals in the Super Bowl.
No, but he won at LSU, wasn't supposed to. Beat big, bad Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And then he escalated your Bengals way quicker than they were supposed to be there. So the dude wins games. Every year he gets better. Herbert has all the tools, and he's the same guy we've seen since the beginning.
You've convinced me. Like, until he gets it done, I mean, if he wins a playoff game this year, then maybe you made some sense.
I want to see
there.
a guy elevate his level when the game's on the line, which he's never done.
I don't know what the stipulation was, but, like, you remember, you're a Bears fan, Mongo. Like, Trubisky, they kind of waited till that final year before they wanted to do anything with him, didn't
Would
they?
say he made a wise choice.
Right. Well, like, he's like, let's just see how this plays out. Like, Daniel Jones, they didn't sign until this past year, but, like, they ran to the very end of his rookie deal and then re-signed him before free agency started. So I think that's probably the right play to make with Herbert. But I also get it as organization. If you believe in him and you want to lock him up, that's fine. But I think Herbert is that tier 2, man. He's not that tier 1. Can you win with a tier 2 quarterback now?
If the team's good enough. I mean, it's happened a few times. We trash Russell Wilson on here. I mean, but he won the Super Bowl. And he went back. If it weren't for a bad call where they put it in his hands,
the team was
instead of
great. The
Marshawn
Chargers,
Lynch.
they're a good team, but like they haven't shown that organizational prowess to build that.
We look at Trent Dilfer's Ravens or Brad Johnson's Bucks. I think a tier 2 quarterback can get it done
In the Gruden Bowl.
if the team is good enough.
Will Herbert have a worse career than Phillip Rivers for sure?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of agree with you. I'm just trying to think out
Rivers
loud
is a
here.
baller. On and off the field.
But they couldn't get a winning team behind him, could they?
No.
And his 11 kids.
I'm
He's like,
saying.
I'll bring my own starting lineup.
The man's study session on and off the field was balls deep.
Literally. Go
Yeah.
balls deep or go home.
Danian Tomlinson.
Give me
and
Rivers over
Antonio
this clown
Gates.
every day.
Yeah, but they gave up 30 points a game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just they never had it all together.
No.
But you're right. AG was legit, man, and LT was an MVP player too. But
Both of them, I mean, Hall of Fame players for sure.
You know who
Hall
the
of Fame
best
players.
comp to LT is?
best comp?
Yeah.
Like current player?
No, just all time.
Oh, go ahead.
Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, very similar. I would. Who's better?
I love them both.
I think LT was a more physical runner.
For me, probably nostalgia would make me lean towards Faulk.
The greatest show on turf.
Yeah, but he was good with the Colts, too.
Yeah.
Could you, if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, could you put their
no.
upper with him?
I think
No?
McCaffrey's his own thing.
Nah, I don't think he's as good.
Really?
He's got to
Wow.
stay healthy.
You
Man.
would pick McCaffrey over Tomlinson or Faulk?
If he stayed healthy?
You're crazy.
Really?
You crazy.
As the total yards of scrimmage?
You're crazy.
All right, I'll be crazy. I'm not saying I would take him this year, but I'm just saying if he
Body
could
of work.
stay on the field,
Body of work.
if he could play 15 to 17 games a year, yes.
Yeah, I hear
But
you.
he's not, so no. But it's not fair. You're comparing a guy who's in, year 5 to guys that played 12 years?
No, I'm telling you right now, he won't have better stats than either of those guys. Period.
I don't think anybody will though.
Yeah,
they
not
just
the way today's game's played.
they don't get the
I
opportunity.
agree with that.
At any point, probably in the last decade.
You can if you're not a pure bell cow back. Like a McCaffrey type back is the only type of back that will have a prolonged
Be able
career.
to survive.
Okay.
But I'm still comparing those three backs because they're all similar with their skill sets. They can do it
Sure.
all.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying he's not going to be as good as either one of those.
No, he's clearly number 3 in that list, and it's not even close. The question, if he stayed healthy, especially with a team like San Francisco, he seems to know.
I think he's on a decline now.
We'll see. I just don't put him in a quarterback again.
That's
As
just my
recently-
opinion. I hope I'm wrong because God knows I love to see a white man succeed at running back.
We just want to see good players in the league. That's
Yeah.
all.
As recently as a few years ago, you could probably, at different points in their career, you could point to a few guys that were maybe Hall of Fame running backs. I can only, right now, I think only maybe Travis Henry is a guy who
Travis
might make Hall of
Derrick
Fame.
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Travis Henry.
Travis
baby.
Henry is, he's in the Hall of Fame for
We're
most
talking about
amount of
Tennessee
children.
players today.
Yes.
Yeah. Travis Henry's in that.
You're right. Derrick Henry, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, you can't run for 2,000 yards and
Who else? You got anybody else?
Right now in the league, I mean, I don't think Christian McCaffrey's done enough.
No, not running backs.
So
And he's
Frank
maybe
Gore?
second.
Does Frank Gore get in? He's got to,
Hall
right?
of Fame?
Frank
Gore
He's got
gets
to.
yeah, Gore gets in absolutely.
But-
First ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played last year, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's playing this year.
Gore?
Gore.
No, he's
You-
done now.
You never know. I wouldn't rule it out with that guy.
He's done.
Adrian Peterson, he played last year, right?
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he
Absolutely
didn't do
is.
anything last year.
I mean, do you feel like there's anybody that's playing right now that's going to just Hall of Fame?
I mean, the
How
guy.
about Zeke?
Zeke, no. Chubb's got a chance. You know, he could.
In a two back system, which is very insane in today's game.
I think it's because it's keeping him from getting beat up too
Keeping
much.
them both fresh.
Like, they really need someone to carry the ball 35 times.
I am friends with Kareem Hunt's dad on Facebook.
There you go. Kareem Hunt's probably not going to.
Kareem Hunt Sr. Senior.
Nice disguise.
Damn good running back, but he's not going to make it.
Nah.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to throw out there my fame that I wish I had.
Hey, that's real fame. Yeah, I think running backs you're not going to see in the Hall of Fame as much. Like
No.
they used to be a staple, and they're going to kind of peel back now. It's just the nature of the game.
I mean,
But,
you look at the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and neither one of them highlighted a running game other than Jalen running at the quarterback position.
Yep. I think I don't know. I think you're just going to see running backs and receivers looked at differently overall because even receivers, what it is the analytics are so good that they know, like, you've dropped off. even receivers, their shelf life is smaller now.
It is. They
Like, look at Odell Beckham, how hard it was for him to just hang on. Like, Baltimore signed him, but like,
And you think about
$5
that.
million?
You think about Jerry Rice in his later years with the Raiders, amazing talent. Still, he adapted his game to be a possession type receiver instead of a long range.
yeah, him and Tim Brown, them old heads
No,
out
I'm just
there.
saying, like Jerry transformed his game, kind of
That's
like
the GOAT.
MJ did in his last years.
Learn how to shoot a fadeaway, right?
And then I also want to say T.O., the man kept performing. And like he was just a physical freak, but
He was.
T.O. just kept playing. And like he was one of those that had that dog in him.
I'll never forget him doing the sit-ups on the driveway.
Yeah.
That was the best thing for television.
There are characters like that come around every so many years, and T.O.'s one of them.
You gotta love him.
Yeah.
Remember when he stood on the star? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, he made
George
him money.
Teague came in and plowed him.
Yeah.
You got to do that, though.
But I'm saying, like, you drop T.O. down in today's game, he would do just fine. There's players like that.
You're right.
I think he could still play now at his
Yeah, he
age.
could probably at least run a drive.
He dropped some passes, but that's nothing from when he. Nothing
He just
different
ain't.
when
He ain't
played.
gonna be able to do it next week.
Yeah.
He'll get you 1 week, and that's about it. I got 2 more little pieces or info nuggets, whatever you want to call it here. The receiver they drafted in Minnesota, Jordan Addison. Did you see he got pulled over for doing 140 miles per hour?
I did for what was the reason?
His dog. He had to take his dog to the vet.
I thought it was prostitute on lap.
No, it's not a Raiders player.
Yeah.
There's no Henry
Did
Ruggs
no one
here.
learn from Henry Ruggs, the
Yeah.
third?
He could be doing the dog.
No, I don't think.
Hey,
he is.
was it over 40 pounds? Did you hear about that?
I don't know what the state law is in Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm just.
Did I hear about that?
I know
Did
it's 40
something
pounds
happen?
here, so maybe it's comparable.
I don't know. I don't know what the books say.
That's just Boone County.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
No, because
The
we're trying.
man's trying to save his dog's life, and y'all are talking about indecent things.
We're trying to
What's wrong with
understand
you?
why he was going 140. We can't rule everything out at this point.
No, you gotta love that dog.
How fast would you drive for Marley?
No faster than 100.
Okay. But, maybe that dog's bigger than Marley, so he deserves a faster speed.
What's it got to do with it?
I don't know. Marley's like 3 pounds.
Well, they got to be big for you to love him.
You go faster than 100, the G-force will kill him.
Yeah, he'd probably just dissolve.
Bigger is not always better.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that, big dogs, they don't live as long.
Yeah. Marley got more time
It
per the sabermetrics.
does.
It's gonna be okay at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Marley always pisses on my car when I come down.
Because he
here.
says hashtag fuck Chad.
And pisses on my, like, every time. Like, doesn't come out of the house.
Hey, that's
Oh.
trending, by the way, for everyone out there.
What's trending?
Hashtag fuck Chad.
Yeah, it always is. Always is. All right. Last
To be
one.
fair, he steps right into it. We just tee off.
I just lean in. You got to go with the way the wind blows.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So we've been talking a lot about how Aaron Rodgers would be a fun little guy to feature on quarterback, which will never happen. I want to go to the darkness. I want to take magic mushrooms. I want to get lost in the Amazon with him. But TV's not ready for that. But he's ready to be a good teammate. Did you see what he did?
I did not.
He restructured his deal.
Yeah,
With the Jets.
Yes.
He took a
He took a-
$35 million pay cut.
Huge pay cut.
When?
Like today or yesterday?
Yeah, this is breaking news.
Wow.
Yeah, like just unheard. Like this is not the Aaron Rodgers we've learned to know at Green Bay. Like,
What do you think the Green Bay brass thinks right now?
right? So my brother-in-law is a Packers fan,
Because he never gave
and,
an inch.
and he's like, I wouldn't put it past Rodgers to do this just out of spite because of the Packers organization, which might be true, but maybe it just goes to show how inept they were at trying to handle with him. Like not being able to get on the same page. Maybe all the guy wanted was a month off before training camp so he didn't have to come to OTA so he could just go surfing in Hawaii or whatever. He did that.
And they never had that conversation.
No. And then they
That's
always,
interesting.
and when they drafted Jordan Love, all that, he goes to New York. It's a match made in heaven all of a sudden.
Here's my thing is like being a business person. If I'm the Packers, I mean, I'm not saying they did or they didn't, but you would think if they're going to go draft Jordan Love that you'd have went up to him first and be like, Aaron, we're going to draft him. This is why we're drafting him. We fully believe in you. We're just thinking that's the best spot for us right now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but like,
but they didn't.
What
do
are the
that.
odds that they didn't even talk to him?
Yeah, they want to draft a wide receiver, and that's what he wants. They draft a quarterback.
But do you think they even talked to him?
No.
See, that's a problem.
It's just what's right for, and like, look, you got egos. You got to play with, and when it's your quarterback, like, I would like to think the Buffalo Bills, when they go into their draft war room, they probably talk to their QB. I feel like the Bengals might want to talk to Burt. Maybe they don't. You know,
I would think so.
I guarantee you, Mahomes has a little bit of influence in Kansas City.
Why wouldn't you?
You would think.
And if there's any starting quarterback out there that's like, hey, are you okay with us taking a quarterback in the first couple rounds? If they say, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it.
And we need to get a backup.
They're a pussy, and they need.
I love that term.
So, like,
he's like, you draft a backup, unforgivable.
Unforgivable. For free. And a Dr. Pepper or something. Oh, man.
All right, pull it together, Ernie.
I can't pull it together.
Come on, Ernie.
I was trying to think of something, and I completely lost my train of thought after that derailment. But either way, just very shocked to see Rodgers being the consummate team professional here, taking one for the team literally.
You know what I'd love to see? Here's my hot take. Here is my hot take.
The Jets are going to go 17-0.
No. All right, so it ain't really a hot take. The Bills still in the division. They have to.
I'm not so sure.
But I'm telling you right now, the Jets will have a way better record than the Patriots.
What about the Dolphins?
It's going to be the Jets second in that division.
So if you're saying that, I would agree with that if that means Tua plays less than 10 games.
New England's going to be last place.
Let's just shit all over the Patriots while Big E's not
That's
here.
what I'm saying. That's my hot take.
If he was here right now, he'd go, well.
New England's last place in AFC East this year. Mark it down.
You buying that? You buying that, Mongo?
I'm with you. Mac Jones last year in New England.
His last year.
Yeah.
The Mac Jones experiment
I
is
hate
over.
Mac Jones.
But yeah. What's he done?
Nothing.
Look out of shape, smoking a cigar in college.
Worst photo ever. Now you're playing like
Worst photo ever.
Now you're playing like it.
If you were good, we could have fun with it. All right. We're going to play some voicemails from Biggie. College football realignment. I say college football, it's really NCAA, but we know who drives it. We're Big 12 fans. We're WVU, right? Are you excited that Mr. Primetime Neon Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes are coming to the Big 12?
He coming.
Anytime you add him to any platform,
Anything.
it's a good investment.
What are you doing if you're the Pac-12? Like, what are you trying to do?
I don't think they know. Maybe they should get Notre Dame to join.
Notre Dame's in the ACC, baby. They ain't going
Oh,
nowhere.
sorry. They finally picked a spot.
So Colorado, by doing it when they are, they don't even have to pay an exit.
I saw that. It's free.
They're just like getting
free.
out.
For
That's
free.
it. I mean, if you're Oregon, like UCLA and USC is already gone. Like, what's left? It's Arizona State, Oregon State, Washington State, and Stanford and Cal. And Utah. But Utah.
How's it our fault that the
Utah's not even been there.
sports isn't good on that side of the country?
I bet
in college?
Utah comes too. BYU's already there. Why wouldn't they? My God.
Isn't
a
it
mess.
weird that they came to the Big 12? Because, like, where the Pac-12 has been so much bigger historically.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Why aren't we going out there?
Colorado was in the Big 12
Yeah.
and left to go to the Pac-12,
Yeah, now
and they're
going
coming back. And that's after Texas and Oklahoma left.
I love it.
Wow. This is
Do you
insanity.
think? I personally think Texas and Oklahoma. That's not going to go well for them.
I hope they eat shit and die.
Texas is going to have a nice little run for the next few years, and then it's over.
What? Texas ain't had a nice little run in forever.
They haven't.
What are they going to
If
do?
you said about Oklahoma, I believe you.
Yeah, Oklahoma. But then but they lost the Golden Boy. Lincoln Riley left. And
I'm saying
Vanderbrooks or whatever.
there
he
is
sucked.
no way that Texas will do anything in the SEC. They're going to be mediocre at best.
In our lifetime, I would be surprised if either of them win the entire conference.
Are they still Big 12 this year?
This is the last year.
Okay, but
They're gone.
they play Alabama, right?
Not this year. Or if they do, it's a kickoff classic or something. I don't know. I don't know the schedule.
Okay.
All I know as a WVU fan, I'm very depressed because you got Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF
Yep.
coming in, and they're
And
all supposed
BYU.
to be finished higher than us. And then Neil Brown's like, we're not going to finish last. I'm like, 11th or bust,
Yeah,
baby.
that's the players at media day. They're like, we ain't gonna be last. It's like, oh, that's where the bar is. Just don't be last.
It's terrible.
Let's go Kansas.
That's terrible.
Kansas will be better. Anyway, I'm not trying to make it a WVU topic, but but speaking of West Virginia, go back to the Big East. Well, that's why all this stuff happened. When the Big East let Virginia Tech, Miami, Syracuse, BC, and Pitt all bail, like they couldn't separate the college basketball schools from the football schools, and they let the Catholics run everything, and they got screwed up, man. And because those dominoes fell in 99 or 2000 or whatever the hell it was, 2003, right? Maybe. Why are you looking at me? Answer me. What year did it happen?
Oh.
All right, I'm going 2003. That sounds good to me. But it ruined everything. The ACC went in and grabbed all them guys. They went to a 12-team league. You had Maryland leave. They went to the big – like all these – now you have nothing that made college football great. There's no natural rivalries anymore. Like you have to go to these huge leaps and bounds to make – like Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, Bedlam. You want to talk about one-sided. Oklahoma's won that like 80. It's like 80-20. But you're never going to have that rivalry anymore.
Listen, here's the deal. College football is dead.
It is.
Period. So NFL is way better than college. The only thing that's even better at all is the college basketball, only because the NBA is sucking so bad. Just they don't want to take over. They could. It's right there to take over. But NBA sucks so bad, we still got college basketball, but that's it. The rest is dead.
We'll come back with Mongo's News of the World and a little bit of NBA on that note since you said that. But let's go ahead and play these voicemails.
All right, Chadwick with the little dick. I went inside and I got on the Wi-Fi. You let me know if this come through to you. Auction, 1023. Here we go. Fuck you. Everyone complaining about the constantly changing landscape of college football can thank one person or one business or one channel for that, and that's ESPN. Their incessant need for a true number one dismantled the old bowl tie-in system, went to the BCS, which began the end of the conferences as we knew them, ended 100-year, every year games like Pitt, West Virginia, the backyard brawl for teams that were fans of teams like that, who aren't Auburn and Alabama and aren't playing for a national fucking title every year. That game at the end of the year you looked forward to when you only had 4 wins no longer existed. What did ESPN get for what it gave us and took away from us? Those motherfuckers went broke.
Is that too dark and cynic?
No. All right, before we get into Mongo's News of the World here and getting everybody caught up on all the wonderful news, pop culture, whatever's been going on out there, whatever he finds interesting, we didn't talk about Bronny. That's a big story.
Yeah, I don't. How does an athlete like that just cardiac arrest? Like, that's crazy. Makes you think.
Oh, you know what everybody says?
The shot?
It's the shot.
Yeah.
And doctors found a piece of sausage stuck in the lining of his aorta.
What?
Yeah, Polish sausage.
What? That's exactly what happened. But no, it's all it is going to spark that debate, which, there's some evidence that suggests there's some issues and whatnot. But, I guess he got discharged today, went home, but the whole thing was just at practice, and he went into cardiac arrest. They put him in ICU. It was basically the DeMar Hamlin thing, just not as drug out.
Yeah, and he was the first one to send out his regards tomorrow. I've seen that.
I mean, that's really him, right?
Right, exactly. He's a lizard person now.
I mean, if you're LeBron, there's a conspiracy theory I saw online that said that Bronny had dropped to the second round projections now.
I believe it because the talent's not there.
And that this might be a smokescreen that maybe he doesn't have a career as a pro, so they can take him out of the game now.
So that way they don't have to expose him.
Right. He had
tarnish the legacy.
Yeah, now he can go be like a motivational speaker for the rest of his life.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying I read it.
After a mediocre year at USC, it comes out that, he
may not even have the mediocre year.
Yeah.
He hasn't played.
Not going to play due to a heart condition.
Right. Like, you can't. He's not going to be there in October when they start playing.
You wouldn't think.
Nah. But anyway, before Mongo got carried away with what he's got, I wanted to get that out there. And, you know, if anything we've learned today is Biggie's just missing out. When he's not here, all the things that he would just love to talk about,
We're going to talk about it.
he can't be here.
Yep.
So we appreciate him checking in with the voicemails there, but that was nice. But anyway, let's kick it over to our news desk with Mongo.
Breaking news, Sinead O'Connor is dead at 56.
It's not really breaking news at this point if you're listening to the show, but
This is the weekly news, Chad. Let the man talk.
all right, Sinead O'Connor, she died. What happened?
Dead. Pretty sure she committed suicide.
Is that what happened?
It's confirmed.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Like, she always seemed like such a stable individual.
Yeah, always put together.
Yeah.
Her son just killed himself recently.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's,
I'd be in a dark place too.
that's probably the nail in the coffin that did it.
No pun intended.
No.
Or pun intended.
Yes.
Maybe her best hit was Nothing Compares to You.
Shit, it wasn't even her song.
No, Prince wrote it.
Prince.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
best
she
song.
killed
you
it.
know who else sung that song?
Who?
Chris Cornell.
He did. It's good. And the Sirius XM acoustic.
I heard that on the way home today.
Really?
Yeah.
So Sinead O'Connor was known for a controversial SNL moment. Do you remember that?
I do not. Don't know the SNL.
Really?
Yeah.
Where she was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live, and she held up a picture of the Pope and ripped it in half.
Oh, yeah, because she was against the
Catholic Church.
sex abuse.
Yeah, and
in the
at the
Catholic
time wasn't really. This is like '93 probably.
It's a big thing right there.
Yeah, and like she got canceled at the time. You know, I guess that would be the term you would use. But anyway, boy, was she right. There was a lot of issues there.
She got canceled before there was a term.
Well,
So, did you know when she was seeking a boyfriend, she invited fans to write in? She would seek overtures.
I was like a contest.
Yeah, her final marriage was famously of 16 days. Was one of these fans. Her final marriage in 2011 was an Irish psychotherapist, Barry Harridge,
Okay.
which ended because Barry refused to slap Chris Rock.
That's the best thing I've heard of.
Oh yes.
Thanks, Mongo.
Oh.
In other news,
All right, I don't have a rebuttal to that.
in
Keep on
other
going.
news, interest rates are at their highest since 9/11. They're at a 5.25.
That sucks.
Yeah, the only thing higher are heroin addicts in Arizona that don't have to use a lighter because it's so damn hot.
Dude.
Milk was a bad choice. Arizona ended a 6-day record streak of plus 115 degrees.
Fuck that.
They're at 25 days of plus 110, a record broken by a week from 1974.
Oh my God.
Damn, Mongo. This is depressing.
I'm enjoying it. I'm
Okay.
here for the carnage.
Well, if that was how we're going to cool it down, not doing so well is Travis Kelce in news for his attempt to meet mega pop star Taylor Swift.
Who is just a stick figure with a mediocre voice.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would, but
Well, yeah.
But
I
you're
mean,
right.
We're not saying you wouldn't, but you know.
Kelce fumbled the ball and said, quote, "I took it personal," quote, end quote,
He's not Jordan.
when Swift refused to meet him. Following his rejection by Swift, Kelce also struck out on his attempt to meet Sinead O'Connor.
He's a little late to the party there.
Sometimes you can't wait on that second option, son.
You know what though? I would guess that I don't know what Taylor Swift's ideal man is, but Travis Kelce would be the opposite of that.
Absolutely.
Like just the jock who has a lot of fun with the boys.
They're both 33.
That doesn't matter. She's feeling 22.
Yeah. that's
Taylor
true.
Swift's only 33.
She's 33.
I can't deal with her for the next 20 years.
Oh, she's gonna be around longer than you are.
How long is it going to take her to do porn? That's what I want to
I
know.
don't think she
never
needs
had to do it, dude.
She ain't got to.
So much money.
Why would you even say that? She's doing a stadium tour right now. I can't get on social media and not see whatever city she's in.
Do you think she buys her own tickets and resells them?
Probably.
I don't know. She kind of broke Ticketmaster.
She's probably the only star I could see publicly trading on the open market. Taylor Swift stock.
Taylor, like she can go public.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our
Just her
IPOs.
likeness.
I don't know if I'm going to be in for the residuals.
I'm just saying. That's how big she is.
Shit, I mean, we've had the conversations. It's Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley levels. It's up there. Is she bigger than the Beatles?
She will be before it's over.
Man, yeah, she's only 33.
Yeah.
Like we're not even here for the comeback tour yet.
Yeah.
That's all Kelsey wants. He knows he's got a limited career left. He needs a sugar
Shoot
mama.
your shot. See what Brady
I
did.
get they're the same age, but like she gonna outlive him big time. He just got destroyed here for the last decade.
What else we got?
That's it.
That was it?
Yeah.
That was good news. I
love
like it. Made me depressed about the interest rates and heroin addicts in Arizona. That was wasn't expecting that turn.
That was great.
I did try to refinance the old house the other day, and I was like, y'all can go to hell with these numbers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. My mortgage company, they called me, wanted me to refinance.
Yeah.
That was a quick no.
Yeah, it's a hard no.
Yeah.
Let's pass.
Can we save you money? No. You
No,
fucking
you can't. You're gonna make me give you more? I don't think so. But anyway, let's put a bow on the show here and enjoy the rest of our evening. You guys feel like playing some NBA Jam? I kind of have an itching for it.
I am ready.
You are ready?
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see. We have a lot of guests coming up. You know, again, if you guys want to be part of the magic here at We Don't Know Sports, we'll take you any time. But I think next week we got Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Take Sports podcast. So that'll be fun. And then it just keeps going on and on from there. But we are efforting some big names. But, you know, I did want to close with this. You know, I messaged you guys earlier. I got a big phone call tomorrow night. How do you guys feel about talking to a medium or a psychic? Does that intimidate you at all?
I want to talk to a mentalist.
A mentalist? No, we're not that high class here.
Okay.
This is like California psychics level, maybe.
I would talk to her.
I'm excited.
You know
right?
what, tomorrow?
I'm going to talk to her tomorrow night. See, we got to make sure it's a good fit.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it's not locked in yet.
I guess
Chad?
she already knows what questions you're going to ask.
I mean, I know. It's just a formality. I guess she's just trying to get a vibe for the energy to make sure it matches.
Right.
But I told her, like, you know, none of us are really into, like, tarot cards and that stuff. So, like, we'd have a lot of questions. It's not sports related, but, you know, it's information you guys need.
No, I agree with that. 100%.
You know, I mean, I'm willing to talk to that. Give me a flat earther. We were talking about aliens earlier. You know, this is real life.
It is.
I mean, I think most people are on the alien boat now.
I do.
I mean,
I
it
was
is
just
pretty.
I was a couple decades earlier than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, you were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But either way, I had fun tonight, gentlemen. Let's put a bow on it. We'll say have a good evening. Make sure you follow We Don't Know Sports wherever you get your podcasts on all platforms. We're on social media on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere we could possibly be for you guys. But until next time, have a wonderful weekend. Stay out of the heat. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.